Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Dave from Timber Time Outdoors. We are here with a Jeep Rubicon and we are doing the Imogene Trail. So stay with us, guys. All right guys, in this video we're going to do three things. We're going to talk specifically about this Rubicon. Not a real deep dive, but just some thoughts as we're driving this incredible road up to the top of Imogene Pass. So just some initial thoughts about the Rubicon and the Jeep. We'll also talk about different vehicles that you can use to take a trail like this. We're going to show incredible scenery along the way and lots of little tips and tricks. So if you're new to off-roading, I'm going to talk about some things that a lot of videos just bypass that you wouldn't think about. So stay with us, guys. I'm going to teach you a little bit about off-roading and overlanding. All right guys, quick stop here to go potty. And this is the nicest mountain potty station I've ever come across. So I got to show it to you. It's pretty darn cool. I'll flip you around. So full power. It's got flush toilets. Really nice. So not something you see every day, but hey, if you're ever going to do this trail, just know that the first bathroom station is first class. All right guys, we're in what they call the most difficult section. So there's a lot of this kind of thing. So pretty darn steep breakover angle type of thing. So I think I'm gonna do this path over here. One thing about a Wrangler that's amazing, at least a Rubicon, is the sway bar is disconnected and you can kind of see it there. So you can articulate the suspension. You see that front wheel's articulating quite a bit. So tire pressure is at about 25 to 28. And the guy that we rented this Jeep from said we could go down to 25 and it would help a lot. We didn't do that, but we just made it through a very difficult section. And this vehicle's incredible. And the scenery is incredible. some thoughts here. Being able to disconnect the sway bar is incredible. It really does keep the vehicle level on some, I'm just going to call it pucker factor type of terrain where you don't think you're going to be able to make it. You think you're going to flip over, and somehow this thing stays perfectly level. Another thing, if you've never done this kind of thing, is reading the terrain is something that takes a little practice. If any of you are golfers, it's kind of like reading a green. I mean, picking your path, which way to go. And I would also say, you need a lot of ground clearance, way more than you think, because sometimes you literally just have to go over these rocks they're just enormous. And so we're learning here, folks. All right, so super bumpy part here. The camera's probably not picking it up, but one thing that you probably won't think about when you go on a trip like this is you need to strap your stuff down because even going as slow as possible, your stuff's gonna go flying. So it needs to be strapped down. Bags, purses, coolers, maps. We even had our map go flying. So just be aware. Here's where you got to read the terrain. And to be honest, I'm not sure what the best path is. If we take that path, we're going to be tilted really pretty extreme. This one here, if we go that way, I'm going to try it that way and hopefully get up on top of this little knob here. So here we go. Serious pucker factor here. I'm going to try to keep us as level as I can. This vehicle's amazing. We're just crawling right up the rocks with absolutely no problem at all. So we're getting up towards the Alpine top here, and we're gonna take the top off the Jeep. And that is one of the great things about the Rubicon, or a Jeep in general, is that all of them come with this, at least newer ones anyway. They come with, I don't know, I like to call it T-tops, but these two panels come off. We're gonna do that now. Super easy to take the panel off. There's like 4 or 5 of these little levers that just flip, and then one on the windshield, panel comes right up and then out, and then in the back it comes with a little bag that you can store it in so that it doesn't get scratched up. Some Jeeps coming up. There's a little tiny house or hut down there, and behind that is the infamous Bear Pass. And it comes down that mountain. And if you don't know what Bear Pass is, look it up, because lots of people die on it. And the rental company says absolutely you cannot go down that. So it's pretty sketchy, much more difficult than Imogene Pass. Hazel loves off-roading. Here is a little tip for you folks. So, places to hold things. I mentioned it earlier, that stuff goes flying. Just simple netting. A lot of times if you have a UTV, you got to add that kind of thing, but this one happens to come with it. But, little accessories like that are super important because it is incredibly bumpy. Every once in a while, you gotta watch out for the wildlife. Not really sure why this guy is sitting in the road here, but oops, sorry about the camera work. Looks like a baby marmot. sketchy section right here. Some very jagged boulders on the hillside, and then, you know, if I get too far to the right, I'm just going to go rolling off the cliff. So this is where that sway bar really helps you. It'll keep the driver's side tires down and not want to buck the vehicle this way. And so I think a UTV can do this because it's narrower, but it's a good example of where the Jeep will really excel. So here we go, kind of talk through it. So my left tire is now engaging the hill, and it's just articulating. The vehicle's not rolling at all. And if you were in a UTV, you'd have a very tippy feel, where this vehicle just stays planted. And we're going almost straight up here, folks. I know the camera's not going to show that, but I mean, absolute child's play in a Jeep. So we're at the very top of Imogene Pass. And then over the hill here, this is the way down to Telluride. You can kind of see Telluride down there. And I guess you can't see the road. That's the way down, and essentially it just follows this valley all the way down. So it takes about 6 hours. Sorry if the sun's in there. About a 6-hour ride, depending on how fast you go. But this is so beautiful, you're going to want to stop. So I would plan for at least 6 hours and get an early start, because Mother Nature likes to rain in the afternoon in the mountains. There's the UTV doing that tough section. No problem. All right, guys, some final thoughts here. There are two things that you need to bring with you, regardless of what the day is like, regardless of what vehicle you have. Number one is this, a raincoat. This can save your life, okay? Research mountain weather. You're up here in the Alpine, do not leave without this, okay? The second thing you need, even if it's bad weather, sunscreen. The sun is punishing up here. Don't leave out home without it, okay? So those two things are my final tips. Again, like I said earlier in the video, it doesn't really matter what vehicle you take out here. There's pros and cons to both. Obviously, Jeeps are more comfortable. They can go on the roads. They have their drawbacks too. UTVs can handle the bumps a little faster. You know, it's your choice. Just get a vehicle and get your butt up there, because it is incredible. All right, guys, wrap it up time. Like, subscribe, and remember, everybody, keep it in the timber. Bye-bye.